Jesus was at home in Galilee, and some of the most dramatic events of his life occurred in Jerusalem. But Qumran, why are we here? The traditional site of the Mount of Temptation, where the devil tempted Jesus, is just a few miles to the north. And the Jordan River, where John baptized Jesus, is only a short distance to the northeast. But that's not why we've come here. We're here because one of the greatest archaeological finds of the 20th century, the famous Dead Sea Scrolls, were found in caves near this site. When they were discovered in the late 1940s, they provided our first direct look at the Jewish world of Jesus' time. The scrolls don't mention Jesus by name, but he was probably familiar with the people who lived in Qumran and who probably wrote many of the scrolls. Most scholars think that they were a Jewish group called Essenes. The Essenes rejected the priesthood of the Jerusalem temple and preached their own form of salvation, one that bore many similarities to the one Jesus himself preached. Some scholars think John the Baptist may have been an Essene who lived at Qumran in his early years. I asked one of the world's leading scholars on the Dead Sea Scrolls, Father Joseph Fitzmyer of Catholic University of America, about Qumran and its possible connection to John the Baptist.
When you look at some of the things that are attributed to John the Baptist in the gospel tradition, the way he talks about the baptism, the difference between his baptism of water and the baptism that's going to come from Jesus, the baptism by fire and the Spirit and so on. Well, there's one passage in column 3 of the Manual of Discipline that talks about God's going to refine his people by fire and the Spirit and so on, which is very interesting parallels and so on for those statements that are attributed to John. To say nothing of the fact that the place where John traditionally is thought to have baptized on the banks of the Jordan is within a few hours' walk of Qumran. The hypothesis that he did at one time spend some time with them explains a lot of things that the gospel stories don't tell us about.